pretty early in the morning. I thought it was about time that I put a video out, feeling inspired from all the Parallel Society folks. I'm in the US. We're getting a lot of cold rain here in Georgia. Lots of the country is dealing with pretty insane amounts of snow. It's keeping people inside more than usual. Keep listening to how a lot of you are dealing with like stricter lockdowns than we've experienced here at all. And it breaks my heart just how cagey it must feel to be stuck. We've got our own level of oppression going on here, just that psychic thing that we're all experiencing with what COVID's done to people's minds. But I've lived my life pretty much the same as I always do for the most part during 2020. I tend to be pretty rebellious in general. I don't like being told what to do. I've got a daughter and grandchild on the other side of town, and I'll be damned if I was gonna not see them for a year. So I just kind of did my own thing. Comply with masks every now and then when I have to at stores. But I'm noticing a change happening even around here where I live. You're looking out over my neighborhood right now. It's incredibly liberal. Lots of Trump derangement syndrome, lots of, I don't know if you can see it. This little house over here has got not one, but 2 Black Lives Matter signs in their yard. Even though they called the police on their black neighbors for having a birthday party for their kids not long ago. I lost my train of thought because I get so pissed off about that kind of stuff. But yeah, like the compliance thing, when I go get groceries or whatever. But the thing I've noticed recently is, I'll walk into, we're getting a house ready to sell. So we're doing a lot of repairs, and I walk into the Home Depot here, and I'm out in the garden section, and I notice that most of the employees they don't either have a mask on at all or they've got it pulled down. And then I was walking through and saw a guy without his on at all, and I was just like, fuck it. I saw what your sign said, but I'm taking it off. So I did. And there were a couple of, nervous Nellies that gave me wide berth while walking down the aisle, which is actually kind of funny to me. I tend to be a little curmudgeon-y anyway, so, please do step away. Works for me. So, even though there's been annoyances and a lot of loss, the ability to have movement, to get in my car and go places. I went on a road trip even last year. I drove up to Wisconsin. I'd never been there before. It was beautiful. Spent some time with some really good friends there. I teach something called trauma release exercise, and I went up there to teach some people that. That was one of the hard things about last year, though. I just pretty much had a thriving business that was really taking off, and that all got slammed. And I've decided I'm just going to take this whole year off from it because I don't want to pay a bunch of money for a business license and insurance and everything that I'd have to do when people are in this area especially are too timid to come out of their houses, or they want to, do moderately intense exercises and deal with my brain's not working, hold on. I mean, the work I do requires like face-to-face connection. Like, you need to be able to see someone's face when you're in a vulnerable position. And for me personally, the idea of somebody like sitting beside me or leaning over me with a mask on when I'm doing something like releasing trauma would freak me out. And it actually does like stimulate your fight, flight, freeze response. So it's completely counterproductive. So, and I'm moving out of this city, out into the country. So I put that business and my Airbnb business on hold because their standards are now you can't host anyone unless you're going to wear a mask around them, and I'll be damned if I'm going to wear a mask in my house. So, and then the house that you're looking at across the street there is my friend Dale. He died in October. He had cancer. Fortunately, he didn't die by himself, locked up. His family and friends around, but it was a stressful year to be dying, There's a conflict in his family, like his daughter and granddaughters would come over with masks on, and even though he's pretty liberal and had a tad of Trump derangement syndrome himself, he was dying. He wanted to be able to see their faces. He had the sensibilities of somebody that's older and military background. And it's been hard. I miss him. Every time I go outside, I see his house, and I want to go over and visit, and he's not there anymore. I have a neighbor on the other side of me that died too, and I didn't know her very well, but a lot of people took exit ramps last year, and a lot more are doing it this year too. It's been a really heavy psychic toll, financial toll, spiritual toll. And also, like we've all shared in our groups and in our videos, it's been one of the most enlightening experiences that we've had, helping us separate the wheat from the chaff, knowing who we can trust and who we can't, who we want to socialize with in the future and who we can't tolerate being around anymore. I was just listening to Thomas's latest video and reviewing that in my head. A lot of loss, a lot of people defriending me because of media influence. Like the content of my character no longer weighed into the equation. Having discussions, asking each other questions, unpacking difficult topics, rational debate, that just all went out the window. It was boop. Yeah, no, I've known you since 2003, but I'm not interested in talking to you anymore because I perceive you as a Trumpster or whatever, it is, a conspiracy theorist. That was my favorite thing the last couple of years, getting articles from friends telling me that conspiracy theories are more apt to believe in such things if they have trauma in their background. It's just insanity. So I haven't done a video yet till tonight because I've just been full tilt boogie getting this house ready to sell and get the hell out of this neighborhood. Not only because of, not having anything in common with the people here, but the impact of COVID is exploding here. The level of homelessness has gone up, the level of crime has gone up, and the level of like really intense, violent crime. Children being killed, gunpoint carjacks, really brazen home invasions, lots of people with mental illness. And I'm just going to move out to the country, which I've wanted to do for a long time. Hope to start a homestead and get out from what's inevitably going to be fallout from what this insanity has cost us. I could go on, but I think I'll just go ahead and cut it here for my first video. But before I go, I just really want to give out an enormous amount of thanks to all of you that are being true, that are sharing your vulnerabilities and your stories and the laughter and the struggle. I feel really blessed to be a part of that, and it makes me hopeful. I've always kind of lived on a parallel anyway, so a lot of this already, it feels like home. It's just we've really been accelerated into the starkness of what we're facing, and it's good to know that you guys are out there. Lots of love, everyone.